Hello and welcome. It's Sharon Dalton here from Sharon Dalton Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm bringing you my card for Colour INKspiration number 205. Okay, so as you can see, we're going to use Granny Apple Green, Berry Burst and Basic Grey as our colours. These are beautiful together. Right, so I have a Granny Apple Green split front card, so we're going to use that. I've used the new embossing folder, can't recall the name of it at this moment, with these beautiful daisies on it. And then I have used the Fragrant layers. These are our flowers, and then I've used the new embossing folder with the ladybugs on it. So let's get together. It's got lots of pieces, but it's a very quick card to come together. So let's start by colouring our flowers. Okay, so we're going to use, ignore the petunia pop, it's Berry Burst. We're going to start by colouring our flowers. Okay, so these little guys here, just going to add a little bit of colour to them. Now I don't normally pat my ink pad. Oh, there is one block here. I normally put ink on here and add it. So just 5 of these little fellas you'll need. 3 for the outside and 2 for the inside. Let's get some more colour there. I just do these bits first so they're a little bit dry, because I'm going to add some Winkstella to that. So that's our 5 little flowers. Now I'm going to do some chopping. So there will also be an Instagram post for this. So I'm going to chop this little guy off, but don't throw it away because we're going to use that. And I'm going to chop this one off. So we just end up with the 3 flowers. There we go. So just keep those because we're going to use those again. And then now I'm going to add a little bit of ink, not much, just a little bit, to the insides of here. Just with that dauber to give ourselves a little bit of colour. Now we also want 2 flowers for the inside. So again, on your second flower, chop that off. Fragrant layers, Fragrant Flowers has 2 different layering, lots of flowers. So they layer over the top of each other as well. Right, then we've got that spare, and bring this one back in and do it as well. So we only want 2 for the inside. So again, just very lightly adding colour to that. This is probably the longest bit, this here. And now I'm just going to add some extra depth around the edges of these flowers. There we go. So this is for our inside. So that one can go there. I'll put him back up there just so you can see. Just get a little bit more ink. Go around the edges of these ones as well. And I've already die cut out the little leaves there. We're going to add some extra ink on those with Granny Apple Green. Now you could use your blending brush, you could use your blends, you could use lots of different things, but I'm just going to do that. And then before I tuck these away, I'm just going to move all this because I want to just do a little bit of flicking with the dark berry burst on these. Now, so that I don't wreck my nib, I'm just going to use my what's it called? Bone folder, just to give it a bit of, it's very subtle, but that's about all I need for that. Pop that back up there. Okay, so let's get to putting this card together. Just grabbing my sample out so I can make sure I'm doing it right. Okay, so let's just clean up that little bit of ink spot there. There we go. There we go, get rid of that. Right, let's move this to the side. So this, as I said, is like a gatefold card. So just going to add glue. Sorry about that. To this side. Now make sure you get quite a bit of glue on that because of all those indentations in that embossing folder. You want to be able to get quite a bit of glue on that to hold it down. So there's our bottom bit. And then now our top. So just remembering when you're embossing that if you cut it to exactly the size you need, your embossing will shrink in the embossing folder. So just cut it slightly bigger because you can always trim it down. So there's our front part of our card. Okay, now we'll bring in our two shapes. So we'll just put that one back up there for the minute. And we're going to build out our flowers. So this is where I've got the 3 flowers. So I'm just going to lay them in there. I'm not going to put a lot of glue on this because I want to be able to shove some things in underneath. Okay, like I said, it looks like a complex card, but it actually is very simple. Okay, and then this one here, this little die cut piece, I think it come out of another set, but I can't remember what it come out of at the moment. Okay, so now I'm just going to shove him in there. So let's put a little tiny bit of glue on him. Not too much. Okay, and then your other piece, I'm going to stack on top here. It's the trouble when you make these early, you can't really remember what you actually did with it. Okay, so there's those pieces. And now we're going to add that little bit of extra green to our leaves. So granny apple. Oh, you can see how pretty that looks already. I need a block. Okay, so then we're just going to add a little bit extra colour to these. I do love the detail on these little leaves. A bit extra on that. There we go. And then we're going to kind of pop. Oh, I must have cut that one apart. I wonder if it's too late to cut it apart. Yeah, this one was cut apart. Oopsie. Okay. So that one can go in there. And this one has this leaf in underneath there. Not that it matters where the leaf goes. That leaf goes in underneath there. Okay, and now I can put this other one back in under here. There we go. Okay, then we're going to put another leaf. Under this section here. Don't worry about the leaf showing out through there because you won't see it once we put the centers in. So a little bit more glue. Like I said, you don't need a lot of glue. Right, there's our flowers. Now, greenery. These ones are for the inside. Now, those little pieces that you chopped off, you're also going to put them in. So, it's a bit there. And then this little tiny one. Going to shove in under here. There we go. Right, let's get these centers happening. So I just push them up with my fingers and stick them into the middle. I'll stay. Actually, I might use a glue dot. No, not a glue dot. A dimensional. That might work better. 1, 2, 3. Peel those little fellas off. Stick him on. Yeah, that looks better. Grab another one. Just push up with your fingers. If you've got a bone stylus, you can do this on a soft piece of foam. But same thing happens when you do it with your fingers. Okay, so that's that one. Then we need to add this to the back of here. Okay, onto there. Right. Then we are going to stick our little ladybug on it. Because I got a little bit of glue there, I'm going to stick him up there. And then I'm going to stamp just a note in the grey, the basic grey. chalk your stamp over that. My ink pads really need re-inking. Just a note. Now, what I've done with this is I have added a piece to each end, like so. So I'm just going to chop that straight through the middle. And I'm going to glue that piece to this piece. Same thing again. Glue this piece to this piece so that you've got about even space on both sides. And then I'm just going to slip that in there with a couple of dimensionals. So we're nearly finished the front of our card. There we go, get them out of the way. This colour combination is, I could not stop playing with it. I have made lots of cards with this colour combination. So there's our just a note. So there's our front of our card. As I said, I do want to put some InkSpiration on that. So let's just grab that. And we're just going to add some InkSpiration in here and here. Actually, I need that for the other ones. Okay, so let's adhere this to the front of our card now. Okay, so because we only want it to be adhered to the top half, we're just going to put glue at this top half of it. Okay, so let's hope I put the glue in the right place, and I want my just a note to be in the middle of this. Okay, so I just need to make sure it's straight. Okay, and again checking that there's no glue at the back there. So that's the front of our card. Now let's do the inside. So I'll bring all these bits down. Leave the card up there so you can see it. Let's get my rubbish out of the way. Okay, we can go up a little bit further. Okay, so for this one, I'm just going to bring my blend back in, and I'm just going to flick a bit of colour. Yes, you can still see. Flick a bit of colour in this bottom corner. That's it, just so you don't wreck your tips. Excuse me. And then I'm just going to give these a bit of dimension. I should have done that with those ones, but that's okay. Now again, only a little tiny bit of glue because you're going to stick things in underneath here. Okay. Now, I do have another little piece of this grey in my stash here, so I might put that in underneath as well. Basic grey. Come on, glue. Right. Just up there. Right, and then here's our piece that we've got. I don't want it quite that big, so I'm going to chop it down. And I'm going to put another bit of glue on that. And then a couple of leaves. Got to have your insides decorated as well. You can't just have a naked inside. And again, we could have added some more green to this, but I've just gone and put glue on that, so this could be fun. There we go, a little bit of green on there. Okay, and then our flowers again. I didn't put dimensionals on the ones on the inside because I figured there was enough depth dimension on the front. Stick that one down. I know what I'm missing from the front is some bling. Let's get that. There we go. So there's our inside. And then I'm going to use these Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. And this has the Berry Burst in it here. Not going to put on any on the inside, just going to put them on this outside of the card. So that's got Berry Burst in it. Get them out of the way. And then stick our insert in. And that, my dear, is the card finished for Colour INKspiration number 205. I cannot wait to see what everybody creates for this card challenge. There we go. So there is our card, all finished with its little bit of sparkle. And then you pop it open and there you have a beautiful insert. So thank you for watching Sharon Dalton Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. If you haven't subscribed, please like and subscribe, and there will be future videos. I do have a couple other samples. As I said, I couldn't stop playing with this, so I'll pull them in and show you those. Okay, so this is the original card that I created. So as you can see, very similar to the one I've just created with you. This one's a little bit lighter in colour. So there's that one. And then because I'm a girl who loves layers, I did this one. See, there's lots of blends on there. And the center of that one. And then again, this is the other part of this stamp set, the Fragrant Flowers. So yeah, so that was my cards that I couldn't stop playing with. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have fun creating something with this color combination. Granny Apple Green, Berry Burst, and Basic Grey are our colors. Okay, you can find all the details on our Facebook page, Colour INKspiration. Yeah, and number 205. Thank you. Bye for now.